So today we had Chef Lorenzo Polegri. He came from Umbria in Italy and did a cooking demonstration with a group of students. And it was had two purposes. One, of course, was to highlight Italian cuisine and in involving the students, and they all had an opportunity to do some hands-on work with Chef Lorenzo.
Today we made snail bread. The snail bread is called lumachelle, and it's a typical bread of Orvieto. Orvieto is, this beautiful, glorious town in Umbria, close to my hometown Baschi, on the river, the Tiber River, on the bank. The snail bread is made with normal bread dough, so flour, water, yeast, a little bit of salt and extra virgin olive oil, and some small diced pancetta and small diced pecorino. The real recipe prescribes for pork cheek, guanciale, which is really impossible to find here, but you can make at school. So that's the snail bread. It's called snail because it looks like a snail. It's like a spiral. Oh my God, the lumachelle! We are back to Umbria. Mamma mia, che bello! Then we made gnocchi. We made gnocchi with potatoes, classic potatoes gnocchi. With Chef Keith, we spent a good 3 hours.
Gnocchi, which of course is the potato pasta.
The sauce was like a cacio e pepe.
It's cheese and pepper. Very popular. Cream, cheese, pepper. Absolutely delicious.
We cheated a little bit of a little cream. Some people say, oh, this is a kind of a Alfredo sauce, but no, cacio e pepe. It was really, really nice. Excellent potatoes. We use excellent potatoes from Idaho, I think. Go, go, go. Yes. Exactly. Okay, now more cheese and pepper on top, on the, on individual portion. And then we made tagliatelle. Tagliatelle using flour, eggs, salt, and oil. And that's an old traditional way. Thank God we found a beautiful rolling pin, sort of.
He hand rolled the pasta dough today, which was very exciting for the students because you just don't see that. And and that probably took about a half an hour of rolling and turning. And he turned it and rolled until it was an enormous thin sheet.
So, and there was really good sauce made with cauliflower, a little tomato paste, white wine, cheese, a bunch of cheese, black pepper. Very, very nice. And it seems like students love that.
And then, he has this technique where, you take it and then you roll it from either end into two logs side by side. And then you cut it in slices, and then you're able to take a knife underneath and you lift it up, and then there's your flat noodles. It's kind of the fettuccine. Yeah!
Whoa!
So it was delicious. They were all really good. The students just ate it all up. They were so happy to be a part of it, to be making involved in the production as well as the presentation. Absolutely. A lot of fun. They were all saying, this is my favorite class I've ever had.
These kids are really cool. I like them. Motivated. They are dedicated. They work. They study. They're open-minded. You got the right ones. Yeah. Good kids.
That's the beauty of something like that too, is that they were sitting there thinking they were just going to sit and listen, and then they were called up and they made snail bread, they made fettuccine, they made gnocchi, and they were involved in every aspect of the process: the making of the dough, the rolling of the dough, the making of the sauce, and then plating and serving, and then tasting too. So that again is just irreplaceable to have that kind of an experience. To have someone come here from Italy specifically who is an expert in this cuisine, just that is something that they will always remember, for sure.
It's very important for them to get exposed to new people, open-minded. They are young. And life is really, needs no boundaries and no barriers.
The other part, too, which is very exciting, is that we do have a study abroad program that we are developing, and we wanted to make sure that we gave students more knowledge about that opportunity. So the plan at this point in time is to go for a week to Italy, and it is a complete immersion program where the students will be involved in doing some cooking classes. They'll visit places where food is being made and prepared, such as there'll be vineyards, and then they'll be going into the farms and hunting for truffles, and oh my goodness, it's a life-changing experience that the students will have forever. And that's the thing that I always try to encourage my students to think about, is travel. As a young chef, that's an important thing, to be able to have those experiences and draw on those when you're in your career.
Be open, ready to travel, ready to talk, read, and study. Never stop studying, and embrace more, new cultures. Absolutely.